Yuki Tsunoda's future with Red Bull is once again making headlines, as speculation grows around a potential move to Alpine, one that could reunite the Japanese driver with Pierre Gasly. This storyline makes sense for both parties, and a change of scenery might be just what Tsunoda needs to finally prove that the issue lies with the car, not the driver. But are we on the verge of witnessing a major shakeup at the Austrian team? And if so, how could it reshape Tsunoda's chances of fighting at the front? There's no denying that one of the biggest question marks in Formula One right now surrounds Yuki Tsunoda's next step. The Japanese driver has not performed to the level expected, and after replacing Liam Lawson, he's only managed to collect 7 points so far. For comparison, both Isaac Hadjar and Lawson are ahead of him in the Drivers' Championship standings. Making things worse, Lawson continues to impress, scoring 12 points already for Racing Bulls this season. All signs seem to point in one direction: change is inevitable. Tsunoda no longer seems to be in a secure position to remain with the Red Bull family beyond 2026. This has become especially apparent since Christian Horner, once one of Tsunoda's biggest allies, was removed as team principal. However, that doesn't mean Red Bull has shifted its goals for the second seat. They still need someone who can consistently score points, especially with Max Verstappen's future also up in the air. According to Jack Pluidge of Ziggo Sport, Tsunoda might find his next home at Alpine. When you think about it, this scenario isn't far-fetched at all. Alpine desperately needs a dependable second driver who can help drag them out of the rut they are stuck in. And on Tsunoda's side, a fresh environment might finally allow him to show that his underwhelming stint with Racing Bulls wasn't a true reflection of his potential. Let's not forget, Yuki had a strong junior career before making it to F1, and many believed he'd be a fierce competitor with the right machinery. But unfortunately, his promotion came at the wrong time, and he ended up in a car that wasn't capable of helping him thrive. Now, the idea of a move elsewhere seems more realistic than ever. Sure, Cadillac is also in the mix and could be interested in picking a young, promising driver for their second seat. Schumacher and Zhu Guanyu are also being considered. But Alpine's situation is different. They could pursue a veteran trying to stage a comeback, or they could take a chance on someone with 5 years of F1 experience under his belt. Don't forget, Gasly is now the senior figure at Alpine, and the team relies heavily on him to lead them forward. While it's no guarantee that the switch to Mercedes power units in 2026 will immediately boost their competitiveness, bringing in Tsunoda could add some much-needed consistency to their points haul. As things stand, Gasly is effectively carrying the team solo, and is already working with a second teammate in 2025. Having a third one in the same season seems far-fetched, but given Colapinto's underwhelming performances, maybe it's time Alpine considers a reliable, proven option like Tsunoda. Now, you might be thinking, if Tsunoda isn't performing in a Red Bull car, which is among the top 4, how can he be expected to do better at Alpine? That's a fair question, but let's revisit his days at AlphaTauri and Racing Bulls. He convincingly outperformed NYCK De Vries, who came in with high expectations. He also outshone Daniel Ricciardo, the returning fan favorite, in the same season. When paired with Lawson, Tsunoda held his own and delivered strong performances. The issue seems to lie in Red Bull's notoriously difficult car. Outside of Max Verstappen, few drivers have been able to get the most out of it. The RB21's upgrades aren't working as expected, and even though Tsunoda claims the car isn't hard to drive, it's clear his struggle to find consistent pace. So what does the future hold? From 2026 onward, Tsunoda may not have the luxury of waiting for Red Bull to make a decision. He needs to start exploring other options now. If Red Bull sees no future for him and doesn't guarantee him a seat, why should he continue in what many see as a toxic, uncertain environment? And while Horner may be gone, he was one of Tsunoda's strongest advocates, rarely criticizing him and often highlighting the technical difficulties Tsunoda had to endure. Ironically, Horner's dismissal might end up being a blessing in disguise. Should he join Alpine, either as a team principal or part owner, he could very well push for Tsunoda's inclusion. It's not a stretch to imagine. Horner has seen firsthand that Yuki's challenges were car-related, not talent-related, just as he witnessed with Lawson. Under a different structure and leadership, a Gasly-Tsunoda reunion at Alpine could finally yield strong results. Remember, AlphaTauri was always limited in its potential because it existed as Red Bull's sister team. But Alpine, despite becoming a Mercedes customer, won't be constrained in the same way. Plus, with Flavio Briatore now involved in the team's decision-making, it'll be fascinating to see how Alpine approaches the Gasly-Tsunoda pairing. Still, Alpine is keeping its options open. They've been in talks with Sergio Perez, another Red Bull fallout, who's looking to revive his career after a difficult 2024 season. His disappointing results were more about the car than the driver, and many believe he still has plenty left in the tank. More importantly, Perez brings substantial financial backing. He's reportedly worth $30 million in sponsorship, thanks to longtime backer Carlos Slim. For Alpine, which is looking to rebuild from the ground up, this kind of funding would be extremely welcome. And from a performance standpoint, Perez could add real value, especially with his experience and ability to push Gasly in ways few others could. Meanwhile, Valtteri Bottas is on the verge of signing with Cadillac, but Briatore has already reached out to Toto Wolff about bringing the 10-time race winner to Alpine instead. It's easy to see why Bottas is in demand. He had a highly successful stint at Mercedes, never missed Q3 from 2017 to 2021, and brings exactly the type of leadership Alpine needs to gain relevance and respect once again. Reflecting on his conversations with Briatore, Wolff said, "Yeah, we talked about it a few times actually. I saw him and we talked about Valtteri. It seems that the interest in Bottas is increasing even more. He deserves that seat. If someone grabs him as a race driver, we'll let him go, of course, with a tear in the corner of our eye. Ultimately, I gave him advice as a friend. Valtteri will make the choice with his management. I tried to stay in the background." Even so, we can't ignore the heart of the story, Yuki Tsunoda. Would this move to Alpine make the most sense for both parties? From Red Bull's side, the writing seems to be on the wall. With young talent like Lindblad and Hadjar knocking on the door for 2026, Tsunoda's place in the team becomes more uncertain by the day. Combined with his clear lack of confidence in the RB21, it's hard to imagine he has anything left to fight for within the Red Bull camp. Red Bull itself is heading into a new era, one that might require a full reset. And Tsunoda's smartest move might be to step away now and find a team where he can rebuild both his confidence and reputation. So, what do you think? Would a move to Alpine revitalize Yuki Tsunoda's F1 career? And more importantly, do you believe this new environment could finally unlock the full potential of the Japanese driver as he moves beyond the shadows of the Red Bull system? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And once you're done, don't forget to click the video that's now showing on your screen.